you know what? It was an overthrow by Mitch.
Yeah.
I mean,
injured bear on the field is Akeem Hicks.
Cousins loses the football, strip sack and takeaway.
Bears our live.
Who else but Khalil Mack?
Bears our live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Yo. Bears our live. Bears our live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Rant up with the true analysis you expect. Raw passion for the show. Bear fans get nothing less. Locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil gonna bring that range within with fact my shade. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened to be clear. That's why we're on TV so you can see it, not just hear. Hey, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. Splitting double teams like 96 Akeem Hicks. You can tell the shit matters. A bit love can be felt. Critical of Nagy cause the talent he's been dealt. Cause our life keeps growing. Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussion about what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame, so expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, a loss they can't survive.
But don't you worry. Bears Hour Live.
Bears Hour Live. Bears Hour Live. We go on live right after Bears games with their boys draft talk and the smartest man alive.
The rant legend.
Bears Hour Live.
Dr. Phil
Bears Hour Live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talk and the smartest man alive. Bears Hour Live. Bears Hour Live. Bears Hour Live. We go on live right after
The Tape Never Lies Network.
This is Bears Hour Live.
Super Bowl Bears. We're back at it. I'm kidding. Calm down. We're not throwing a parade here. We're keeping shit real. Don't forget, this is the Texans that we played. The Texans with nobody, but we saw some good. We saw some bad. I'm still... I want to temper the enthusiasm. I'm seeing people out there saying to re-sign Mitch Trubisky and give Matt Nagy another chance, and we'll get everybody figured out there because that's not the direction that we're gonna go on this show. But we're gonna get things sped up here. We're gonna turn it over to Draft Dr. Phil for the rant. It's been a long time since we've heard from him after a win, so we're gonna do that now and turn it over to Phil.
What's up, everybody? Just like my partner, Shane, just said. It's hard to win in the NFL. It's hard to get yourself wrapped up in the emotion of a game that, obviously, the Bears are a better football team. These are the games that define who you are as a culture, as a team, that you gotta win these ones. You gotta win these ones. But within the game, there's always small showcases defining who you are. You can't just say the team's a reflection of a head coach in a miserable loss. The team's a reflection of a head coach in a win, too. So when I look at this football game and I see David Montgomery, who, by the way, this network has been championing for 2 years now, he's your identity. So he sets the tone, he sets the stage, he sets the example by attacking aggressively for 80 yards, where all the blog boys, like Kavanaugh, say he can't run fast, he can't be what he is, and that's an elite runner. And that's what I see every week on the tape. That's what I see every week on the tape as I break it down like nobody else. They could try to fucking copy. The reality is, David Montgomery is the guy you build your franchise around. Because running the football is the penicillin to help your offense establish an identity. It's the oil, it's the olive oil in the sauce. It's the creation of what you're going to do philosophically in a season and within the game. But this coach can't figure it out. He can't figure it out. And as we said during the halftime show for patrons, this coach is going to come out of the half and he's going to throw the football. And just for good measure, this jackass is going to have Cordarrelle Patterson in the backfield. And he did. He did just that because he is a position coach. And that is it. That's the end of the story. Today is it's a no-win. You win, but you also get these fanboys that are doing, well, look at there's hope. There's hope. There's no hope with this coach. If he's going to do up 33-7, throwing the ball around, taking sacks, and not putting your fist in the motherfucker's face and destroying a team and crushing them where it matters and building those offensive linemen's confidence, then he's nobody. You're never going to win the big game with somebody like that. He's an Arena League coach. He's a shoe salesman. Well, why are you getting so fired up after a big win? It ain't a big win. It's a fabricational win. It's a game. You know that 3-cup game you always get beat on the street? That's what this is. It's a chance for Ted and George and Ryan to manipulate a parade. It's David Blaine with the magic trick. We're not going to get fooled by it here. No way, no fucking how. You show me you're a great coach by giving Montgomery 30 fucking carries. 30! And you destroy that team and the emotion, and you build the character by building the identity that you so desperately wanted to find. But no, you can't get out of that slumber bag that you brought to your neighbor's house to sleep over because you're a fraud as a head coach. You are. And you're not going to get this analysis anywhere else because everyone's going to fucking rah-rah a win. But I'm going to fucking point out the reason why you won is because that team across the way is completely shred of offensive talent. Their defense is laying down just like you did last week to the Lions and the week before to the Packers. There's no moral victories. You want to show me something, Nagy? Show me you found your identity and you run the ball with Montgomery and you use your quarterback the way you were using him in this game. Off action, under center, bootleg out, get the tight ends involved, throw the ball down the field and in the seams. Those are the things that you can't figure out because you want to do some jet sweeps. And he did it again today. And you want to get the ball in Cordarrelle Patterson's hands. At the end of the day, the moral victories aren't the reason why you get fired. You get fired because you're a fraud. So beat the Vikings. Let's see what kind of game plan this guy has against the Vikings. Then we'll talk about rivalries and coaching and where the future lies. Because to me, the future lies minus Pace, minus Matt Nagy. Because they're never going to win. And today, in between the hashes, we found out why. Because even when you're destroying a team, you can't figure it out. And Shane, that is my rant.
No club dub for you, Phil? I'm
I'm
sure our boys in blue are doing it right now, led by Addie Jackson and
I'm sure other
and
fucking
company.
networks are doing it too. And it's a showcase. I see.
Well,
go ahead. You
gotta, Phil, like you said, I think you put it perfectly saying that this is, it's fun. They get out of the losing streak, but at the same time, if you're looking forward with this team, this win, there's so many questions with this franchise. You don't want it to cloud any thought in George McCaskey's brain at this point. I mean, they beat a depleted Texans team.
Right.
In Chicago, at home. Let's not overvalue what this is. I know Mitch went out there and did things, and there's people that are still saying that it's all this, it's all that, and got to bring Mitch back, and we're never going to be like that. And if you don't want to listen to it, go. There's plenty of other post-game shows on. We're not going to be here, putting up pom-poms and shooting off fireworks because the Bears went out and beat a decimated team. A team, quite honestly, they should have decimated, Phil.
Absolutely, man.
You brought up at halftime, David Montgomery had, six
carries.
Carries at halftime. He finished the game with 11.
Can you imagine?
No,
imagine Walter Payton here. He would have 8 carries. I'm serious.
Yeah.
And that's a problem, Shane. This is a problem.
Yeah, it's
and
coaching.
To Shane's
it's called
point, I'm going to say
malpractice.
this right now. This show, Bears Hour Live, we comment on the coach talking. I'm just warning you now. You want to go fucking listen to Coach Nagy's fucking political bullshit? No new taxes, no more runs, whatever the fuck. Go to that and listen it there. We're going to be commenting on the bullshit he has to say. You also want to have a fucking doo-wop ditty dance? Then go somewhere else for that too. Because I refuse. I told my wife, because my wife, she doesn't know the game as much. She's like, well, they won. You should be happy. I go, yeah, I'm fucking happy. I'm happy.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm upset about is the fact that somehow some politician, corporate fuck, is going to try to paint this into something positive in regards to Nagy. And there is no positive. It's disgusting, Shane, what we saw. It is a clown show. And you're right. How could you not have that kid? Oh, my God. Do you see him freaking... You want to keep it 100? You look at this kid's effort, and that's David Montgomery off a fucking flare pass. He's dragging J.J. Watt. He's dragging the safety. He's dragging because it means something to him. Those are the guys you build on. You don't fucking give a fuck about Cordero Patterson, who dropped the key third down throw last week. This is the culture this motherfucker's built, Shane. Javon Wims is out there throwing blows. He's fucking getting Riley Ridley benched. He comes back. This is your culture? You have no clue. It's terrible on tape. Like, you see the tape. Every person listening right now knows the Tape Never Lies Network. Every person watches my film breakdowns. I put my name onto that shit. I don't hide. I don't do any shit. You want to take your shots? Come on the fucking show. If you're from fucking anywhere, you come on the show. You want to take a shot. Here's the truth. I'll stand up for the tape. It doesn't lie. And I'm fucking so agitated by what you see on this team and how Matt Nagy handles it. On a day, Shane, that the running game is working so well, he's got to pass the ball. And we aren't going to listen to any players today. I don't care. I don't want to hear Mitch. I don't want to hear nobody but the head coach. I want to see how he sells this. I do. And then we're going to bring on a bunch of you fanatics and fanatical fans. If you don't agree with Shane or me, that's cool too. You come on, you speak your truth. That's all this is about. But we're not going to be as a network. And we text me and Shane back and forth within the game, but you see, if you're part of the Tape Never Lies Network, you see me posting my thoughts right as they happen. And granted, I'm streaming, so I'm behind a little bit because I don't have, the game live. It's streamed, I think, 8 seconds later?
Yeah, it's actually a little bit more than that.
So that's why you see my tweets coming a little later. They're on real time as I'm seeing it. I'm analyzing it. Same problems show up, Shane. I will say this. Allen Robinson, great effort in helping David Montgomery get to that touchdown. I wanted to see, are you a teammate? Or did you learn from that Packers game when you're walking? He runs down the field. He's getting his body in the way. These are things that I want to see. Then I look at Charles Leno. Same shit, Shane. New day when the flag was down. Did anybody question?
Brags in the stands didn't help him.
Yeah. anybody criticize. You're a $1 million, multi-million-dollar left tackle. Okay? Greg Braggs isn't suiting up and has never played left tackle. But Greg Braggs and Jamari Riddick and Steve Nagashi and Bear Truth 9 and Coach Dre and Dre in the dugout here. All of you have never said, I'm a left tackle. I could do it better. Maybe you have. Maybe you believe you can. But you're the one that's asked to play that position. Do it that like you know how, with pride. You're a penalty machine. You're awful. It's up to you to have the pride. What was James Daniels? Yeah. He was a kid that wasn't playing well. And he went into the offseason, he looked into the mirror, and he decided that he was going to improve his game by doing it like Walter Payton said. A real champion does this shit when no one's looking. They work on their craft. You don't need, Anthony Miller and Javon Wims. These guys need an audience to be good. It's the great ones that need no one to tell them they're good.
Eddie. I'd throw Eddie in there.
Oh, Eddie as well. Absolutely. Same tricks with Eddie. Lemuel Stinson's tweeting in the is DMing and showing and sharing on
safety.
He's corner safety. I hope Lemuel's in the chat. We'll have to bring him back on again because Lemuel's keeping it 100.
Yeah.
He's coming from this place. It matters to you fans. What do you want me to come on here and kiss ass because they beat a banged up Houston Texans? I was sitting back. I wanted to see what team showed up. If you put a gun to my head, I would tell you, pound for pound, the Chicago Bears are ranked 99, and the Texans, talent-wise, would be a 50. So that's the 49% advantage, and you went out there and played. Good, you did your job. And you know what, Shane? Anybody, tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead in the chat. I want anybody to tell me I'm wrong. Nagy did everything in his power to lose that game. He did. And that's what gets me so amped up.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a large lead like that, Phil, it's still to this point, fundamental football escapes him. How on earth? I mean, at one point, the Bears were up 33-7. They got the ball back, and they took 30 seconds off the clock. 30 seconds.
30.
Where does that happen in the NFL? Other than Chicago, with a head coach just trying to prove a point that what I call is going to work, and we're going to put up some, I don't want to call them empty stats, but Jesus Christ, it's 33-7, and you're taking 30 seconds off of the clock. And listen, I'm all about being aggressive on offense and being aggressive on defense, but there's a point where fundamental football has to win out. And what more does 32 have to do? What does he have to do? Phil, I almost thought it was a joke when we were talking at halftime. I'm like, well, at this point, we saw David Montgomery house the 80-yarder. He needed that. He needed it. But we talked about it at halftime. If you're a patron, go back and listen to the halftime show. We said he's going to be removed from the game plan. He had 6 rushes at halftime. He finished the game in a 37-6 win with 11 carries. 11. He had 80 yards on 1 carry, and he finishes with 113, I believe it says on the bottom scroll. But Phil, real quick before we get
tapeneverlies.com.
Yep.
Go there. Become a patron.
Absolutely.
What are you waiting for? What are you doing? You love this shit.
Yeah.
You get the rants. You get extra shows, bonus shows. You get X's and O with the O's. That premiered this
And
week.
everybody in the comments, if you're using Facebook, again, we tell you guys this each and every week, and for whatever reason, there's still you want to remove that comment so everybody can see it. Yeah,
get that comment out of there.
I put it up, but you have to head over to www.streamyard.com/Facebook. If you do not do that, we will not be able to see your name when you comment in the chat. We've repeated this, I think, every single show that we've been on. It's going to take you 10 seconds. I mean, at some point, we're just going to start calling you guys,
Facebook
Matt Nagy.
user.
Right. Well, yeah. Come on, be better. Just go over there and do it. Then we know who we're talking to.
We just want to make sure
it's not that hard, right?
We want to give you credit.
Yeah, if you have a great comment, we want to be able to put it up there. If you're a Facebook user, we're not going to put you up on the screen.
Exactly. The other thing I want to say, those of you, thank you, Jake. We love you patrons because, you know, it means a lot to us that you support us and all of the work that we put into these shows. I don't think a lot of people understand. It's not, we both have other jobs to put in the time and effort for the fun, the comedy, as well as get the guests and go the extra mile to
and young
bring
families.
And we have families, and that's where it's going. $7 a month before the 31st. And I honestly am sitting here thinking, I'm so tired of the rhetoric and everything that's going on with this football team. Listen, a coaching change and a whole administration change is going to come. This isn't going to change unless you go out there and you completely compete against the Minnesota Vikings, and then you go out and you continue to win. Because what you've seen this season is a football team with plenty of talent. You had a coach before he comes on, remove the quarterback, all right, and went and stayed with the guy that he purposefully asked Ryan Pace and company to trade for. Then they continuously lose. Mitch has come back. You have the game won last week. The tires and the wheels roll off. You lose against your rivalry, getting blown out on national television. Your defense quits on you. And then you're put in a corner here against a beat-up Houston Texans team. No fucking Brad Biggs. No, none of these writers are going to turn the reality of the truth around when it comes to this franchise. This coach is so overwhelmed. Look at it within the hashes of this football game today that Shane eloquently talked about. Every single one of you, to a man, knows there's no way you could go away from David Montgomery, yet this guy, he can't figure out the heart and soul, Angel, that David Montgomery is on this network, on the tape breakdowns. Every fucking week I put my name to it. Shane has put his name to it. David Montgomery's your answer. David Montgomery's your answer. Hey, how about a little bit more of Lamar Miller, who's actually a seasoned zone running back? I get Cordero Patterson is talented, but he's not a running back. He gets creases and he gets folded. He slips. All of these things you see, yet think about this, Shane. They're inside the red zone, and David Montgomery's out of the game, and Cordero Patterson is in the game as if he's going to get you yards. This goes back to Green Bay opening night, 4th and 1. You're in that game, and you bring out Cordero Patterson on 4th and 1. He gets stuffed. He does it again this year. 4th and 1, Cordero Patterson. You remember these plays that are being called, and then he's got to give up play calling, and he gives it up. We're not going to be fooled. Like I said, what is that game with the 3 cups? It's never there. Whatever that's Matt Nagy, okay? None of this. Only the truth is going to be here.
Phil, real quick, just speak on, because I've seen it in the comments. It's all over Twitter. It's on Facebook.
Go ahead.
People see this game today, and there's this groundswell of people out there now that are convinced that Mitch needs to come back, and it's 100% on the head coach. You need to re-sign this kid and give him another shot with another coaching staff.
Listen, I'll cut you off right there. I'll answer this. Let the next GM and coach decide what the fuck needs to happen at the quarterback position. What Mitch Trubisky did today was what he should have been doing. No doubt. That's the offense he fits. Boot, option, pull, get out of the pocket, make a play here and there, have the slants off of zone, RPO, run the slant. These are the things he did in 2018 that he did really well. This isn't rocket science. It's not going to win you a fucking Super Bowl, okay? So the GM, Listen, we've said this 100 times. I'm going to say it again. And hopefully the pride of our fan base will champion us for being the first people that say, I don't do 1,500 mock drafts and go search for the one that had the right one. I just do my truth, and I say it over and over again. Here's the truth. Football person, not corporate. McCaskey, step away. Ted Phillips, gone. A president of football operations is hired. That man alone, he doesn't hire a search firm. He hires nobody.
Phil, real
I guess
quick,
Matt
here's
Nagy's
your
coming
boy.
in.
Yep.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
you
we can hear
Go
you.
ahead when you're ready.
All right.
Where is he? Lost
I'll get
it.
started here. I just think that number one, I'm proud of our players
Where's
and coaches
Shane?
for being able to be resilient and focus in, lock in as to where we're at. I thought in pregame I had a sense of the vibe and the energy of where we were. It felt good for those guys. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but they proved it. All three phases played together. This is the first time all year that we've had that. I can go into all this stuff offensively. I'm sure you guys will ask offense, defense, special teams, but all in all, I thought the first half was really good. We talked about finishing in the second half.
And you didn't.
I thought our offense was very efficient in the first half. We got touchdowns when we needed to. It started obviously with the first play from scrimmage and David having an 80-yard touchdown run.
Why didn't you
run after
listen?
catch,
The first
I thought
question,
was
Shane. Why didn't you go away from
offense,
David Montgomery?
defense, and then
That
the
should
other
be
thing
the
too
first.
is,
100% agree.
Let's see
selflessness
what
of
they're
our wide
going.
Receivers blocking. I'll
I'll answer this after the coach, Logan.
We had defensively, I thought we swarmed them. We had 6 sacks. You felt that. And then special teams wise,
It's weird how he doesn't need to review the tape today.
Exactly. He knows everything. He didn't miss the fight. He saw it all. First
up,
question.
Jason Leisure.
All right, Leisure. Come on.
He'll pound him.
Matt, it's been rough for a while for you guys. What do you think this breakthrough today signifies as far as what you have left to go for in the season?
Well, it's just a start. It is a long time that it's been a while, but
Giving
when you
him
go
a
through
fucking
moments like
soliloquy
this, you
here.
stay resilient, you stay persistent, and you trust in one another, and that's what we've done. So we're gonna
Stay
use
within
that
this
moving forward,
game,
and,
Jason.
I just appreciate that.
Why did you get away from David
Brad
Montgomery? Biggs. Well, here we go.
I guess 2 questions, Matt. First of all, is that the best you've seen the pass rush this
Oh, my
season? And so
God.
maybe what was the key to that? And then
Shane.
Jalen Johnson shoulder injury. Is it the same shoulder that he had surgery on during the offseason?
Again, so the first thing I would say, Brad, in regards to for us, I thought we did a good job. There was early on in the game, which we knew was going to happen. Deshaun's going to break containment and he's going to make some plays with his legs, and he did that early for the first few drives. I thought we did a better job of keeping contain on him, and then when you do that, you force him, and then you get a lead. You're able to kind of pin your ears back and let the guys that we have up front go after the quarterback, and that's what happens. It accumulates over time, and it's just kind of like body shots, and then the bigger lead that you get, the more you can see that, and then they become one-dimensional. And when you make a team one-dimensional, that's when the statistics.
Definitely going to talk about this, Will.
In regards to Jalen, for him, I'll have to
these
get more
layup
from
questions?
Andre, but I know it's a shoulder. It was the third quarter. He didn't finish.
It is his right shoulder, the one that he did have surgically repaired. He doesn't know, but we know. 100%.
Shane
I
knows.
honestly, I haven't even gone to that part yet with Andre.
Yeah, whatever.
Dan Wiederer.
Andre didn't tell you.
Matt, you mentioned sensing some energy in the pregame. I'm curious what exactly you were dialed in on in terms of the vibe of the guys. And then also, there's an element of where has this been to the offensive explosion? How do you explain that, where this sort of...
We don't play Houston every week.
So I would say offensively, like I've been saying for the last 3 weeks, we're finally, I think
This
we're
is
starting
bad
to create an identity.
questions.
You're feeling it. You're seeing it on the scoreboard.
You're right, Xavier.
So when you have that and
Garbage
we're not having
questions
a lot of
coming
third
in.
downs. We
No
were getting a lot
tape
of third
review
downs early in the
today,
season. We're not
Diamond.
now. We're scoring
Nothing.
points. There's a confidence right now in this offense.
Not one
And
mention of the
that
run
part I
game.
appreciate
Come on.
from these players.
Let me hear
You
it.
know what? We're going to figure this thing out. We're going to get it. So that's happened there.
We'll figure it
And then,
out.
I
The
don't know.
ship.
It's just
Where's
a little
the ship
something
picture,
that I just
Shay?
kind of noticed. You never
The
know what it
sinking
means.
ship.
But I felt the energy. I felt the guys playing loose. I felt them, having that focus. And sometimes you just feel that. And they,
guys,
that's a credit to them, man. I don't know if they had a bunch
somebody
of coffee
step the
had,
fuck up and ask him how you get away from David Montgomery. Come on. Somebody. We will send that person a fucking large pizza.
Matt,
one of these media guys.
Montgomery rips off an 80-yard.
There we go.
There we go. Get Mike Berman.
How big was that, and what was the impact on the sideline?
Oh, forget it. He blew the second half.
Yeah, it's
of
huge.
the question.
I mean, anytime you score an 80-yard touchdown,
blew the
run on
second
first play
half.
of the game, you get 7 points, and your line blocks, your quarterback makes the right decision, and your wide receivers block, and then your running back finishes, and you get 7-0 lead. It's
the second half is why did you get away from the run? That's the question.
Along with the defense playing fast.
He had a shot.
Finley.
He could have fucking got the pizza, but he's not.
Hey, Matt, you talked about getting an identity on offense the last couple of weeks.
Here we
What
go.
have you seen that leads you to think that it'll work against maybe some stouter defenses that you have coming up?
I'm not sure. I think we
I'm
just
not
play
sure.
whoever they put in front of us and see where it goes.
Oh my God.
Adam Hogue.
Maybe Hogue.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that identity that you were even talking about coming into this week. How did you describe that identity and what you were?
I'm going to describe it like
to
this:
get into a rhythm.
Running the ball.
I think you got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to pass protect. You got to make good decisions, and then when you get the football in your hand, you got to be able to make plays. And
don't talk about it. Be about it.
I thought our coaches did a hell of a job.
Be about it.
Communicating and being.
This
able
guy
to
would last 2 weeks on my staff. 2 weeks. He'd be fired on my staff. I'm serious. If he was calling plays, I'd be like, you don't even know your identity. 32 is your identity. Xavier's getting hot today.
Difference for your defense, but I know Hicks had a couple plays early, but that strip and recovery by Max seemed to really ignite things.
Tell him, Jamari.
I think that had, and just to have him in general playing.
Fucking got away from the run. 11 carries. How? Should be the question. Just say that.
When you make impact plays,
they should take questions from the fucking Tape Never Lies network. They're on fucking
he's been
Zoom anyway, Shane.
In a lot of different ways. He's had a couple sacks.
Let me text JJ right now. Seriously.
That's part of the game, but trust me, man, he wants it. And
please ask.
He's going to continue to keep doing that.
Kevin Fishbane.
Why 11 carries?
Man, was this kind of a game you've envisioned for Mitch?
For Monty,
just
is my question.
He got into rhythm.
Why only
action and on the move? Was this kind of him putting everything together, and both him, the receivers, the play calling, everything kind of coming together?
Yeah, this I thought it was great, and
Swank, go to another network, Swank.
Green Bay game,
start learning that I want to change a culture. That a win is minuscule to the stupidity that you see within a win. If that can make sense to somebody,
what we're asking him to do,
you got to understand. Anybody that's fucking strutting their shit and grabbing their nuts today, thinking you're big because you beat the beat up Houston Texans.
Are you scoring points?
Please.
Are you scoring points? And so when you score points,
tell him, PJ.
And we're scoring points right now.
Of course, we're fired up.
Some of the stuff we're doing.
I want to see fucking reality. I want to see a change.
Able to give us an advantageous in the plays.
I'm not going to sit here and have a parade for Mitch.
Couple more for Coach JJ.
Come on, JJ. I texted.
You talk about that identity. It's kind of easy to notice that some of David's best games recently have come with Sam Mustipher in at center. How much of a part of that identity,
he went Mustipher,
being able to run the ball, has he been for you guys?
Huge. That consistency when you have an offensive line and you don't have guys hurt, you don't have,
I will say this, Mustipher made one mistake only in this game on my first view, Shane.
That's a part of the identity.
And that's a young fucking building block piece.
You have a guy like Sam Mustipher that comes in and has
you find a fucking center,
he's done that.
You're coaching.
He's
I like the question, JJ, but he didn't get why only 11 carries.
And do a heck of a job. For Cody Whitehair to be selfless and go back to left guard. For Leno to stay consistent all year long and help us with that experience. And these guys, I would say,
we gotta drop.
One of the negatives.
Leno's been consistent all year long, fellas. Fire this motherfucker now. That's it. End the show. Close the curtains because that's the fucking biggest lie ever told. Ever told. Anybody. Please. You kidding me?
Andy?
Leno's been consistent. If consistent is bad and penalized,
extra chip on Mitch's shoulder
Fucking
this
A.
week with all the talk about Watson?
No, zero. I think he's been locked in.
Leno's
He's been
consistent.
focused in on trying
Exactly,
to help the team win. That's the
Retro.
only thing that honestly, when I
Oh
say
my
that,
God.
believe me, that's the only thing that.
Tell him, Cherie.
How do we find a way to win? We don't care.
Where are
what
my
the score is.
peeps at?
We're gonna find a way to win, and then
I'm going all in, Ryan. You're right, because we know better.
Time did any of that stuff come up?
You know that guy that gets up? He fucking busts his
Last
ass.
one,
He's
Dan.
driving fucking trucks. He's
Matt, with some of
fucking
the tempo
delivering
stuff you guys
Christmas
have done, what's been your
packages,
assessment
and he's
of-
got to
of
hear
some of
this
those
fucking
sequences,
clown
where you've
talk
been able to break
and
the
lie?
ball go and what those have done for momentum?
Leno's
what it does is
horrific.
It keeps the defense off balance in regards to the tempo. There's different things we can do off of it. I think that's a part of our identity. If you look back, we haven't
Tell
done
him,
as much
Big
of it in
O.
the past. We're starting to do a little bit more, and now we just got to.
I sing because I'm happy.
So it's been helping us. Some of that stuff with the false starts you run into is with the cadence, but we've got to practice it. We got to be good at it, and then we got to make them guess when it's coming and what we're doing.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. Thanks for winning us a game and not winning in the big games. Listen, I get fired up because I fucking care. You can't understand, or the troll that's going to comment here, he can't understand. I know what it takes to build the foundation of a football team. And right now, the foundation is so fucking broken because it's blind. Are you going to ask Stevie Wonder to fucking drive your fucking Mercedes? No, because he can't see. Maybe cars can have him drive because he's got a Tesla and it drives itself. That's it. The reality is, if you can't see that 32 is your answer and that 72 sucks and you have no accountability and you allow these guys to walk around, miss tackles, and you keep putting them out there, even if they throw punches and cheap shots, you have the whole thing is so off. I always remember my rookie year in being a juvenile correctional officer. You can't let the fucking prisoners run the asylum, Phil. You can't get played by them. You gotta respect them so they respect you. I was 21 years old, and they were right. Fresh out of college. Actually, I was 23. Sorry. 23. And I learned so much about life in that. You have to hold every person accountable. Even the kid that's a fucking lunatic that is gonna fucking throw a hissy fit and ruin your whole shift. And you're gonna have to restrain his ass 5 times. You gotta hold him accountable, or everybody's gonna take from the pot. So that's what I see here. I see a coach overwhelmed because he's just a positional coach. Give it on the Good Old Boys Network. Given a job because Andy Reid said he's good and he sucks. I've said this for years. This isn't new. That's why we have this many people watching the show. Because you know you're going to get the truth here. We're going to keep it 100. And we're going to bring you involved. We want your voice. It's okay if you disagree. I'm not going to be mad at you. But I have a passion about it because I want this culture to change. I want this organization to actually have a plan that involves football first and not which corporation is going to buy one of these luxury boxes. So we're going to appease all the... No, fucking put football and guys like Windy City 8258 first. Ryan Fraley, put him first. Eddie August, put him first. Start putting a product on the field. Yeah, that was awesome. You beat a team today. You blew their doors in. But you could have destroyed a team today. And you could have carried that momentum against Minnesota. But you know what you do? And I'm talking to anybody that wants to question and troll this. You know what you do? When you do bad things, you develop bad habits. So the next time you're in a tight game and you need to run, you forget. Because you have been nothing but an albatross in regards to finding your foundation of what you do well. That's why I'm so fired up today. Maybe more so fired up today than any day this whole year, because you had an opportunity to build the identity that you so desperately can't figure out. And I think that's the biggest indictment on this whole organization. Their identity is to worry about the corporate world, the millionaires that are buying the PSLs and the luxury boxes. And they're not worried about you, the real fan, the one that lives and dies, and it affects their job and their week. That's my mini rant within the fucking show, Shane. Listen, you heard the fucking coach. Do you want to comment on it? Or no?
No, man. We're gonna move things along. We got a guy that's been waiting in the green room for quite a long time.
He came on early. I wanted to just give him the thing, but he's enjoying the show. I hope he'll have to answer that when he gets here. But every week we're gonna bring 3 of you guys on today to talk football. We're still building the timer because we're gonna get to the point where we're gonna time guys on how they do it. Where is it? Here it is. Where is it? 100 Crew. You're ready to come on the show. Bears Hour Live. Always reach out to me or Shane or Claudio. Let us know you want to get on the show. Our first guy is in the green room right now. We always do it like this.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Phil and Shane bringing on a fan to talk Bears and what just happened in the Bears game each and every week. You have to have hype.
Phil's always telling me to hype.
You can't be flat. So be ready, be prepared, and bring your passion.
That hype coming out of my ass.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Hashtag Spencer Strong.
Those are big time fucking throws.
It's Bears Hour Live with you, the fan. Here he is, Dre, from the South Side.
Yes,
What's up?
yes. Hey, man, it's a pleasure to be here, man. I really wanted to get on the show and talk some real shit with you guys today.
Listen, that's what we want. Some real shit, real talk. Real
Man's doing some sheetrocking during the game, it looks like back there.
No, I'm actually in my garage, you know, so...
I see the garage line there.
Yeah.
There you go.
What's up, Dre? You're a patron. You're a passionate dude. You reached out to me. I want to get in the fucking ring, and I want to talk some Bears with you guys. Go ahead, man. The stage is yours. Talk about it.
I think the Bears are soft as fucking shit right now, man. On both sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball. I've seen a lot of good things today, you know, from an X and O standpoint. We got to get David the ball, man. We got to get him the ball. We have to get Mooney the ball. In my opinion, I think most of these dudes are soft as shit. The only ones I see consistently going out there, laying it out there on offense is Kmet, Montgomery. Say what you want about Trubisky, he plays hard.
Yeah, he played hard today.
I'm looking at just effort. See, we can always work on your skill set, but effort means a lot. You know, some of these guys that don't give a shit really would not be on my field. Williams would not be on my field, man.
I was gonna say Ridley isn't on the field, so you must be happy.
For the wrong reasons, right? But he would not be on my field. We already know Leno. It seemed like something about Chicago Bears and left tackles with 4-letter names, man. Webb was another piece of shit. You know, I just can't understand how the fuck do you just put these guys out here with no accountability. You know, I'm big on fucking accountability about shit like this, man. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's just a series. You take a guy out the game for a series of football and rip his ass. Grab his ass up. I'll never forget that Sunday night, man, against Green Bay when Jay Cutler fucking slapped the shit out of Webb for not doing his fucking job. And all the news reporters, all the news outlets acting like Jay Cutler was an asshole for holding this piece of shit accountable.
Exactly.
That's a lost art in football. Hold the son of a bitch accountable. Now, when it comes down to Nagy, I think Nagy is trying to buy himself some fucking time. Right now, today I seen a lot of good things with the play call and moving Mitch around, a lot of boot action, a lot of play action. Yep. But when it all boils down to it, that shit's not gonna fly consistently against a team that knows what the fuck they're doing. But you can always grind a game out. It is no reason you only scored 6 points in the second half of football.
Absolutely.
There's no fucking way. You got these guys with their dick in the dirt, and you let them off the hook. You should embarrass their ass.
Absolutely.
When you got a team down like that with their heads down, you supposed to make them put their fucking head in the sand. You supposed to make them feel like shit. This ain't Pee Wee League with a score rule. You just dig it in and you dig it in and you dig it in and you get that offensive line confidence. You give those pass catchers confidence, and most important, you give Mr. Trubisky confidence moving forward.
This guy's killing it today, Shane.
Even if it's not with the Chicago Bears, the kid is still a good kid. He should be able to get confidence from a coach like Matt Nagy moving forward, no matter where he is. He's not doing that. And you got the audacity to sit there and say Charles Leno is showing consistency? That lets me know that you are a fucking joke. You don't. Look, I watched all the little details. When he came on the sideline and he was slapping all the defense up, good job. When he touched Khalil Mack looked at him like he wanted to body slam his little ass. You know, because he doesn't respect him. The team does not respect him. The only person who respects him is probably Cordero Pass because he know he has no business getting 10 touches a fucking game. Okay, and don't get me wrong. I think Cordero Patterson plays fucking hard.
Yeah, he does. He
plays hard. He goes there and gives it his all every fucking game. But you're not a running back. Okay, if you want to use Cordero, I have no problem. Give him some jet sweeps, throw him a screen, give him the ball in space. But this notion that he's some electric runner, I don't get it. He's a big ass man with a head of steam. He's a problem. But when you're talking about being skinny in a small space, that's not him. That's not what he's doing. He can't do that. He's not doing that well. Now, on the defensive side of the fucking ball, I understand, Phil, you always say that Quinn is the effort guy. He's doing a lot of good things. I don't give a fuck about that. When you get paid $15 million a year, your effort should not be what I'm paying you for. Your effort should already been there that got you the $15 million. What needs to be there is the stats. You can't get paid. Edwards get paid off effort. Williams get paid off of effort. When you a big ticket item, you get paid because your effort is not in question and you're bringing home. You're not getting close. Okay, you can't get close for $15 million. You can't have one sack and 17 pressures for $15 million. That will bury a franchise. Okay, that's not an option. And then let's talk about fucking Eddie Jackson. It was good to see Eddie today bringing a little wood.
Hey, he made his best tackle that he's had in 7 weeks.
Yeah, 7 fucking weeks, he brought a little bit of wood, okay? He almost got an interception, so he's playing a little bit better.
Brought some kindling.
There you go. It wasn't no straight oak wood, no shit like that. Okay? But the defense came play a little better today. Khalil Mack, it was good to hear his name out there a little bit today, you know. But even still, we gave up shit. You talking about they got a receiving core that is a fucking should have been playing with the Ryan Fire. You see what I'm saying? A soft puppy shit, motherfucker.
It's taking us back to the Marcus Robinson days.
There you go.
Ryan Fire, the world leader.
These aren't no fucking superstar athletes. But Chuck Pagano refuses to go man across the board, bring the heat, and put pressure. There's no way in the fuck an all-pro corner like Kyle Fuller is playing 10 yards off no fucking G League football player.
It's amazing.
There's no reason for that. He should have been all over him, making him uncomfortable all game long.
Yep.
Absolutely. If you give up a big play, if you up by 20 points, you give up a big play, so fucking what? Make him make a decision fast. They won't do that shit, man.
That's why they put all that money on defense. I mean, if you give up a big play, then go out and make a fucking play.
Go make a play, get it right back, man.
Absolutely.
You know, like I said,
the only thing I'm going to say, I want to say this about Robert Quinn. I get what you're saying, but there is a concerted effort, and today, Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn took 2 of the biggest cheap shots I've ever seen allowed. Shane, it is going to be must-see TV. The tape never lies this week. The tight end, number 87, Fells. He comes down and he fucking brain smashes them in the ear hole on the blind side with full speed. and just destroys them. It is an illegal fucking block. It wasn't called, and I get it. He had Watson in his dead to rights, but Watson, let's give him. He gets out of this shit. He does it. But Robert, to your point, he's got to finish.
Get home.
He's got to get home. He's got to do it.
Those were some tough blocks, but I tell you what, I would love for a guy on the Bears to slap a motherfucker like that.
They should have been in a fucking full-on fisticuff. I would have lost it. That's another showcase of the coach.
We have one guy on
went out there.
We have one guy on offense that shows that now, and I'm glad to see that it's an UDFA guy that's earning his keep. Sam Mustipher is in the middle of every dust-up, and I love seeing that from my offensive line.
I did see Leno mix it up a little bit today.
Leno pointed at someone today.
Yeah. I did see Leno mix it up just a little bit.
Listen, Swanky could point at someone too, so I
miss a good old lineman that might beat your ass if you get out of line.
I need someone that's taken off their helmet, is fucking eating corn and has a mullet. He's from Nebraska. He's fucking pissed off every play. I need that as my tackle. I need that.
Somebody don't give a fuck, man. Exactly. I'm talking about someone whose uniform is dirty before the first play.
Exactly.
Just someone who just doesn't give a shit. We don't have those type of guys.
That's a scouting thing. You gotta find them.
Nagy wants to be a finesse team without finesse players. Okay? He wants to be Kansas City without Kansas City players.
Don't you remember when Lovie Smith was here? They wanted to build the team on speed, and then they put him on a fucking ice rink to play on every week. And they grew the grass real tall.
Exactly.
We're young and we're athletic. Now go out here and slip and slide everywhere.
Listen, I got to say this. Another thing that this network, credit to Shane, has said for several years. You built the team drafted on speed. You got two guys that dip better than anyone in rush game, and you have the shitty field where you could just lay down field turf like AKA the best in the business. Mr. Bill Belichick did it in a week. He did it in a week. He got rid of the grass, put down the field turf, and allowed his guys that are always prepared fundamentally to get that advantage of quickness. Wes Welker, put in the names. Pass rushers, Brewski, put in the names to dip and get to the quarterback. It's about footing. It's a game of inches, and every little intricate detail. That's why it's the greatest game matters. But Trey,
and you know who didn't do their homework?
Trey.
Pace did not do this homework because last year I want to say that Robert Quinn on grass had only had like 2 sacks or some shit.
That's a true story. That's why I'm telling you. How many? Listen, I'll go back only for patrons after the season ends. And I'll just isolate on every pass rush Robert Quinn. And I will tell you, I have counted, just off the top of my head, memory-wise, Dre, I've counted 15 where he's got the tackle beat and he's going to go home and his foot slips out. And his foot or he gets help. I'm just talking about a foot slip count. I'm talking about a foot slip that nobody, the PFF guys aren't saying he won that rush. They're just skipping over, and listen. Whoever's quarterback, I want them to win. I'm gonna analyze it correctly. Whoever's defensive end, people thought I hated Leonard Floyd. Same shit with Leonard. He just got caught up in a dance and lost. I'm seeing Quinn win and slip, so that has to go into consideration. And to your point, scouting, you saw the percentage of wins versus losses. Especially, just think about what is it, Shane? The physics, the laws of physics. Mm-hmm. If your body's bending a certain way and that's how you win in regards to your balance, if that footing gives out, then you're going to fall. So that's where scouting and putting it into the perspective of where you play and what you do is a part of football.
Phil, right here at Santiago put this up there. Chicago will never put in field turf because Chicago has to pay the Union Landscraper. Chicago Park District owns Soldier Field.
That's not true. They've already put that there.
If the Chicago Bears wanted field turf, the park district would put it in tomorrow. It would save them money. Yeah. When they have to re-sod, it's anywhere from $150,000 to $240,000 a pop.
This is
for them to re-sod.
Phillips holding anchor with the family, selling them on tradition.
George said it. Yeah, George has said it.
I spoke to George right to his face. My wife is a fucking witness to this. It was the only question I asked him football-wise. I said, George, it's time to put the field turf down. He's like, listen, we're thinking about it, but, our people think that with tradition and that's the reality. That is.
It's time for Ted Phillips to get up out of there. I was talking to my brother. Everything has changed in the organization, from coaches to players to GMs. Nothing has gotten better. It's all been consistently fucked up, and the only constant is Ted. So let's give that a shot and get his ass out of there and see where we go from there.
Well, you've been phenomenal today. You brought it. We got people in the dugout ready to come in. Listen, you're on the stage. If you want to give any shout-outs or whatever, you are a tremendous person. You brought the energy and passion that we look for. If you're coming on this 100%. Show, you got to fucking not only keep it 100, but bring the hype and the passion. You did that. The stage is yours. We want to give anybody a shout-out, and I really appreciate you supporting me and Shane on the patron side and everything you do for us. Man.
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to my older brother, June and Reg. They're big-time fans. We always in it every weekend, rain, sleet, or snow, 0-16, 16-0. And also my son, who got a baseball scholarship. He's heading off to Florida to go play baseball down there. And my daughter goes to Mizzou. All a happy time, and enjoy yourselves, and shouting out all those guys. So thanks for having me on, man. And I'll be in touch, and we'll keep this going.
Dre.
Good stuff, Dre.
Great stuff. You got my cell phone number. You need anything, bring it back. I don't know if the dryer's done or what happened. I love you, bro. Great
all right,
job.
Man. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks,
care. Man.
Great job by Dre. Bringing it. That always puts pressure on guests, because somebody before them.
Yeah, I can see Ryan in the dugout. His cheeks are all red already. He's like, oh shit, pressure's on.
Gotta shake it out, Ryan. Get your fucking neck roll on or something. This guy coming up next, we're gonna play a little bit of it just to help segment the show.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Phil and Shane bringing on a fan to talk Bears and what just happened in the Bears game each and every week. You have to have hype.
Phil's always telling me to hype.
You can't be flat. So be ready, be prepared, and bring your passion.
I had hype coming out of my ass.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Hashtag Spencer Strong.
Those are big time fucking throws.
That's right. Big time throws. Here we go. Who do we have here, Shane? You're Ryan Billings. Right?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
There you go. What's up, Ryan? You ready to bring the passion and heat? Or are you gonna simmer us down with some knowledge here?
No, I'll do just talk about Bears football, a little bit of everything, what I see, and I'll do whatever I can to follow up Dre, but he set a hell of a stage, that's for sure.
Listen, talk about it.
I'm a defensive player by trade, so I watch from a defensive perspective, just view offense and defense. And, something I seen from Pagano today that I've been waiting on is he finally brought some pressures, even though they're only 5-mans, which is some of the reason why Khalil Mack had more success. The sack was actually a 5-man blitz. But even when we're up, was it 33-6 when Watson came out for the play down in the red zone? I mean, we're sending delayed blitzes. And at that point, in my opinion, when Watson goes down and he's coming up shaky, that's blood in the water. So after that, I would like to see blitzes, and it's extremely apparent, like another drive or two later, when it's 3rd and 2, and they're in their little trio set, and we're playing 5 yards off the ball on 3rd and 2. Where's the man coverage on that? You're just giving them an easy flat route.
Nobody.
Yeah, flat route that was uncovered. Yeah, Duke Shelley dropped the ball on that one, but some of these guys you gotta give them a little benefit of the doubt. He hasn't been out there. I understand it is the NFL, but man. you uncover the flat. He had free release. You see that more. You see that so often in Chicago. If there's a 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and 3, they don't just give up the 1 or 2 or 3. The Bears usually give up 8, 9, 10, 14, 30 on a play like that. And you saw him totally release. I think it was Daniel Fells that was released in the flat there. They just let him go on that 4th down play.
Yeah, and
you see that.
And you had the guy wide open in the corner of the end zone where the sun helped us out.
Oh my God, that was Eddie Jackson's guy. He's pointing. He's always famous. He's pointing at everybody else.
I thought that was Kellen Davis out there. The way that he was oven mitts. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was on the sun. It hit him right in the fucking tricep.
Yeah, a couple other things I noticed is David pops off for 80 and gets a touchdown, and like you guys I talk to my dad throughout the game every single week, and I text him and I was like, quick. Something for CPAT. We got to get CPAT going now. So David pops off 80 and gets a touchdown, and then the very next drive on 1st and 10, who's in the backfield? It's Cordero Patterson. Which I text him and I said that's a complete smack in the face to David, coming from a guy that was a 25 to 30 touch guy at Iowa State. Not saying he needs to get that many touches in Chicago, but football is just a lot like basketball, where you got to get the ball to the hot hand. If it's David's day, it's David's day. And if it's Patterson's day, then it's Patterson's day. But we've yet to see that happen.
That's something we've seen in Chicago for years and years and years. I mean, back to, not to bring up Lovey again, but they used to pull out the starting running back on the 3rd series every game, no matter what you were doing. 3rd series, starting tailback was going to come out, backup was going to go in. It didn't matter if you were eating at the time or not. No, you're coming out. And that's such bad coaching. To have a script that you're that set on going into a game. I mean, I can't imagine popping off an 80-yard run like that. And then the next series, the first play, you're giving it to a fucking gadget player. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised because we see it all the time. We talked about it, yeah.
During the patron version, we do a halftime show on patronage. And me and Shane talked about it. We were betting our mortgages that Matt Nagy could not follow the scent. He's not a fucking hound dog looking for the killer instinct. He's somebody that wants to be portrayed as something he's not, and that's intelligent football coach.
Did you see Matt Nagy pumping his fist after the touchdown? That wasn't because they scored. It was because he knew he didn't have to run Montgomery anymore because he had that long run. That's what it was.
But you're right. There's no rhythm.
Another offensive shit.
Yeah, it's like, fuck. Got this out of the way on the first play.
Listen, I'm going to go back. Olin Kreutz.
Yeah.
You had Zach Miller, and you had last week's guest, Lemuel Stinson. All of them said the term rhythm. And in football, just like you said in basketball, there is a process of rhythm. And Coach Nagy doesn't get that you need to feed the fucking beast in order for you to find your identity. And once you do that, I mean, it is not, like, I'm not creating the wheel here. I'm not. This guy just went on national TV and said Charles Leno's been consistent this year. It's a good thing. That's the shit that you need to get rid of. It's the guys that actually call out the truth and hold people accountable and stop worrying, like Mike said, about the gimmick. Then you start understanding your philosophy and what it is. If your philosophy is to take pictures or be a draft guy and you have your play sheets all over the room like wallpaper, then you have some sort of fucking issue. I knew it right then. I'm like, this guy is totally trying to say something here. What is the message? Plays are more important. Plays are more important. And unfortunately, you went right away from David Montgomery. And anybody that's worth anything in football, like I said, I'm not creating the wheel here. David Montgomery deserved 20-plus carries. And those of you asking in the chat, sorry, go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to say I agree with you. I thought when David popped off for 80 that, just the same as last week when he was racking up yards against Detroit, that maybe he was going to get the ball more. But, I mean, again, we don't see it. And we get down in the red zone, and it's 2nd and goal from the 1. And we go with this gimmicky shift, and Jimmy Graham having a false start, and 2nd and goal from the 1, and now you're 2nd and goal from the 6. Granted, Jimmy scored on a back shoulder throw, But the point is you should never even be in that.
Right. That was a bad call, by
the
the
fact
way.
that you're not in the I formation.
That was a trade.
The ball's crazy.
Yeah, that wasn't a false start.
When you trade, the quarterback could go say, "Hey!" and everybody could move in unison. That is called a trade. The refs got that call wrong because Jimmy's allowed to move with everybody else, including the quarterback, and they got that wrong.
Something that we consistently see with this entire franchise, Phil. We talk about it every week. They like to put nuggets out in the media, stuff like that. What did we hear all pregame from the guys that were from Kevin Harlan and crew? Oh, the Bears and Trent Green. The Bears are going to run the football today. They're going to run football. They're going to establish the run. They're going to run. The Bears do that all the time. They tell these guys that, they put it out in the media, and you can bet your ass that they're going to do the exact opposite because they love to pull the okie doke that way. We're gonna do this, but you just fucking wait. We're so fucking smart. Nobody's gonna figure this out. We're gonna go and pass. I sent out a tweet when Patterson got that fucking carry. I'm like, I want this entire fucking staff launched into the sun. Yeah. I am so done with this fucking coaching staff.
You're never gonna change the unchangeable ignorance. Listen, we've all been around, and listen, I have no tolerance for racists, but everybody's had a story. Everybody does. I'm not gonna share some of mine, but you're never gonna change a racist person. They have to do that on their own. With Coach Nagy, it's an analogy. You can't change ignorance when it comes to football coaching and its foundation. He was handed the charter franchise as a play call. He was a real estate arena league. This story sounds good on paper if somebody was writing a Harry Potter novel for football. But in reality, what we see here is a head coach overwhelmed at the position. And thus, if a change isn't made, you're always going to be floundering in stupidity, trying to reach this superlative in arrogance. And we're the great. No, the great coaches understand that running the football opens everything up. And I don't give a shit about a quarterback's stats. Matt Castle could play quarterback when you're running really hard, really well. Mike Glennon could play a good game at quarterback when your team is running the football very well. Look at last week against the Minnesota Vikings. The Jags take them into overtime. So don't ever tell me. I know this game is always going to be about the very foundation of running. You played linebacker, Ryan, right? When a team's gashing the fuck out of you, does it start making you fucking just lose track of the passing game? You're going to sell out to stop the run. Now you got an advantage, especially in the NFL.
I'd like to talk about, because I talked to my dad a lot, like I said, about the Bears. And the Bears' average yards per pass is, 6 yards for the past 2 or 3 years. So me as a defensive player, if one, you're not going to throw anything past 5 or 6 yards, why would I even, as a linebacker, why would I honor any play fake you give, or why would I get any depth on my drop, So that's why a lot of the times when people play man coverage against the Bears, or they drop down into a cover 3 and don't respect the deep ball, because 1, we don't throw it, and 2, none of our routes go past 7 yards. So as a defender, why would you even back up, And I think that's a lot of the issue that you see with our passing game.
Right, and it's not.
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Shane. Breaking news. Those of you asking in the chat, Claudio the barber has suffered from COVID. He is
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
He is here today producing behind the scenes. I thought I saw his comment pop up there, but I keep seeing people asking. Claudio is here. I don't know if he's going to pop on for a second, but he doesn't have to. If he wants to. Do you want to, Claudio? There he is. There he is.
Still forgetting that mute button.
There he is.
Listen, what's up, guys?
Hey, how you feeling, Claude?
Well, I was going to address it on Keep It 100. I wanted you guys to talk about the game, but I'm feeling better. I am feeling better. I still got a headache. I'm still not myself, but got a little hairy there for a second, but
well, you're still going to address it on Keeping It 100.
Oh, I will. Yeah, I will.
We saw a lot of people questioning.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody, man. I appreciate everybody's thoughts and prayers and everything, and I'm hanging in. Sadly, my wife, my girls, they all have it too now.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, we're dealing with it. It's real, man. It's real. Everybody out there, man. I'm not trying to. It shouldn't be political, but listen, take it seriously. Everybody mask up, man. I take it seriously when I work. I take it seriously everywhere I go, and I still caught it. So it ain't nothing to mess with.
There you go. Wise words from the barber.
Yeah.
We love Claudia. We love you, Claudia. I just wanted to give you a little stage, man.
Yeah,
you deserve it. You're working behind the scenes, doing the comments.
Yeah, it was. The win was nice today. It was nice to have a win, and
he's in a dark room because he has a headache.
Yeah,
guys, that's why the lighting director allowed it today.
There's always a lighting director out there. There's always.
We're still cutting your segment, Claude. We're not going to give you complete sympathy.
Cut it out. Well, we wanted to bring him on real quick. That's what we do on this show. Love you, Claudio. Stay healthy. I wanted to bring and address that, but according to another breaking news, and I don't have to play the drop. Did you see that comment? I can't remember who said it, but apparently Hub Arcus is saying 2 more wins. And these guys get to stay.
Yeah. Well, if you like I told David Kaplan, if you have if that's your delineation right there, then let's fucking call it a day.
God.
Ryan better keep a hold of his fucking hoodie with the NFC North champs, because it ain't gonna be happening for a fucking while.
Oh my God.
I've been wearing the salute to service one for the past few weeks, and they've been crapping the bed. So I had the salute to service one on this morning, and I told the girlfriend, I said, I'm going to change hoodies last minute. Maybe I'll change the vibes a little bit. And the W, and that was it, but I don't know. I got one question for you guys, if I got time real quick.
Yeah, the last question, because we got one more guest in the bullpen. First of all, how's your girlfriend doing? She's always getting after me. I love Ryan Billings, guys. If you're not following him, this kid brings it. He's got passion. I know his connection's a little shaky today, but we're battling through it. It's okay.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
So we're
both
doing good. We're battling the COVID thing, but we're still strong right now. So just taking every day by day.
Well, I hope you guys are doing good, and
he's got his question. Don't cut him off yet. What was your question?
Him off. Go ahead.
No, so my question would be is I go back and forth on this. So if you're GM of the Bears, and let's just fast forward to the offseason, right? What would you do? I'm just.
He wants to re-sign Mitch. I can already tell.
Hold on. Time out. Wait a minute. Obviously, you draft a quarterback, right? I'm on the draft a quarterback bench.
Yeah.
So you draft a quarterback with your first pick, and then what do you do with Nick and Mitch? Because here's my question: if Mitch is willing to take the league minimum, would you bring him back as a backup?
It's not happening. That's not happening. He's not going to take the league minimum, man. He's not going to. He's a free agent. Listen, Nick Foles is going to be here. The way that his contract is set up, he has it's a player option over the next 2 seasons. So he's going to be here. He's got guaranteed money. When everybody keeps on talking about the bridge quarterback, the Bears don't have a great cap situation, and I understand Phil can say fuck a cap. Well, this year it's really fucking bad. I think they have $19 million. Yes, they can create more. Nick Foles still has guaranteed money, but at this, Mitch isn't going to play for the fucking league minimum. First off, I mean, this guy got $29 million guaranteed the day that he got fucking drafted by signing his fucking name. And if you see Nick Foles getting $24 million guaranteed, why would Mitch ever do that? I mean, he would go to New England. He's not even guaranteed anything.
He's on the radar of the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots.
Know that firsthand.
Right. There's going to be a handful of teams that want to take a chance on him. But I understand everybody gets excited about seeing what he did today. And is everything on Mitch? No. There's a ton of it all over the place.
Listen,
Ryan Pace fucked up. Matt Nagy fucked up. But There's a lot of issues with Mitch Trubisky, the quarterback, that are just on Mitch, too. And I'll go to my grave saying that.
Yeah, I don't think you franchise Mitch at all.
No.
I don't agree with Logan. This is what I would do, honestly. Ryan Pace is gone. He's had several shots at the quarterback position. His ability to analyze it. Unfortunately, last week with Lemonhead Stinson came on, I produced this open, and I did a back track. I'm going to have to take the music out and redo it, Shane. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put, because YouTube gave us a copyright thing, and they removed the show, but it was because we put the coach hitting the kid. They didn't explain it anyway. That's why that show kept going down and then back up and
they
down.
flagged it for inappropriate content.
Even though we were talking about how ridiculous it was and analyzing it like a news team would, they pulled the show down. So that's why we had to put it up. We had like 2,000 views on it at the time. Then another 800 came back, and then we had to pull it down and finally get the answer was because of that. Long story short, my open, though, we thought was the wrong, so I clipped that out. But in the open, you see Ted Phillips in the draft room. The guy that's supposedly not on board, Ryan Pace.
Nothing to do with football, Phil.
Ryan Pace mentions Ted. Everybody in the room was all in on this. Everybody in the room. Guess who's in the room? Ted Phillips is in the room. Why is he in the room if he has nothing to do with football? Because he does. That's the reality. And until you get this team functioning with football first mentality. Listen, I was upset too when Lynch and they were laughing at the Bears, and all I wanted was them to have conviction. This isn't, revolutionizing, what I said back then. Get your guy. I supported that shit. Totally. My guy was playing on the field today. Watson. That's who I wanted the Bears to draft. Stay at 3, get him. That's who I want. That's it. So now I'm looking at this guy, Mike Glennon, David Kaplan said it. You guys know the whole fucking story. You can't franchise Mitch. You got to let Mitch decide, and you got to get rid of the GM and the coach here. Then the next GM and the guy, and unfortunately, you can't fucking go down the road of continue. Oh, we keep doing this. I don't want to do it. Well, you don't stay with stupidity. That's stupid too. And you have to do it to get it right. And hopefully the corporate world is alleviated and football people are making the decision. The GM to the fucking coach. The GM hires the coach with the president.
Exactly. Mitch is he's a great person, super hard worker. I get all of that. We've had 2 separate players on this net. Well, the second one wasn't on our network. Greg Braggs on Braggs in the Stands just had Charles Leno on. We had Josh Woods on a few months ago. I asked Josh, who's the leader on offense? He couldn't name anybody. And then finally he goes, A-Rob. Yeah, I'd probably say A-Rob. There was no quarterback mentioned.
Right.
Greg, I texted Greg during the interview with Charles Leno, and I said, Greg, ask him who the leader is on offense. And he went through the same type of deal. No quarterback was mentioned. That's your starting left tackle. Your starting left tackle talking about leaders on offense. Didn't name Mitch Trubisky. Didn't name Nick Foles. To Charles's credit, he did praise David Montgomery, and he goes, you got to run the kid. You got to let him run the football. So that was one good thing. Yeah, Charles even said it. So Mitch I'm sure he's a great guy, but when you have multiple players within your own team not mentioning you at the forefront of leadership, that's a big fucking problem. That's not Matt Nagy's fault that Mitch isn't a fucking leader. Mitch goes out there and tells you, I read books because that's what leaders do. No, dude, you don't even fucking say that. Go read your fucking book and be fucking quiet about it and assume the leadership role. Do it. That's not who this kid is. Mitch has a lot of fucking warts because of Mitch. Matt Nagy did not help him. Ryan Pace did not help him. Bringing him back is pure fucking, he's going to figure it out. In year 5? He's going to figure it out in year 5? Come on, man.
It's way over.
That's why I keep on saying here, let's put our fucking bar a little bit higher. You see a team that I despise playing fucking Jalen Hurts right now. Carson Wentz has a fucking cap number next year of $59 million. They can't even move off of this guy. Exactly. $59 million. They still went out and invested into the quarterback position. Not in Chicago because we got Tyler fucking Bray here.
That is the reason why.
Exactly. That's why you want all these people fucking going.
Right there. Because
Chicago's never had a quarterback. You know why? Because they fucking... They traded for Cutler. They fucking traded for Mitch. They traded for Nick Foles. You have to take it serious.
You can't do it. Come on. Yeah. This isn't rocket science. It's hard to find that position, but the reality is you have to actually look to find that position in order to have those kind of mistakes. You can't swing at the plate one time. Look at the Packers. Fucking Mark Brunell, Hasselbeck. They were taking shots when they had a Hall of Fame quarterback. And they still are doing it and trying to make sure their asses are covered at the most important position in football instead of going out there with Moses Moreno and Shane Matthews and Mike Glennon and so on and so forth. Is Mitch a good guy? Probably a great man. Young man. He's not a man yet. Is he going to win here? Not with this coach. They don't fucking fit philosophically. You saw it today. As good as David was going, Mitch could have been even better because the game was a blowout anyway.
What the fuck does this even mean? So, okay, to take the half. Mitch played 12 fucking games, Logan, his rookie year. 12, not half the year. He played 12. And not a full 5 years, half a year, 5. He's not even in year 5. So learn math before you want to fucking come at me. Jesus Christ.
Sorry for getting Shane fired up for you.
Well, it drives me fucking nuts because this whole fucking franchise is, let's bring back Mike Singletary to restore the fucking roar. Let's bring back Ditka to be the fucking president. Let's bring back fucking... There's people out there that want Jay fucking Cutler back. It's pathetic. Set your fucking bar higher. Well, that's why we're a laughing stock in the league because everybody, we're going to run the fucking football and we're going to play fucking hard defense. That's the Chicago Bear way. We can't play on turf because this is bear weather. None of that shit works. It's fucking pathetic. My God, this fucking franchise and
this fire.
It's just 101 years will fucking do that to you.
Dre,
Jesus Christ!
Now Ryan's
crazy,
putting a fire under your ass.
It drives me fucking crazy. Mitch is gonna fucking figure it out in year 5. Then it's gonna be he got a half year, so let's give him year 6. Let's give him $25 million next year. Fucking craziness.
Listen, if the new GM and president and they do this the right way, and he decides Mitch is a priority, and his assessment, we'll talk about this on Keeping It 100 this week. Adam Rank is going to be coming on the show talking about the Chicago Bears Wednesday night. Keeping It 100, sponsored by Shy City Sports. We're going to break down who does Phil want at quarterback. I see Logan wanting to know. I'm not going to talk about that here because we're obviously talking about this game, obviously fired up with this coaching staff, offensive line issues that continue. If you can't get those personnel decisions right, you can't hold people accountable. You've had my father on the show. You've had Olin Kreutz on the show. You've had Mark Grody, the voice of the Chicago Bears, sideline reporter on the show. You've had J.J. Stankovitz twice talking about Matt Nagy and the issues that are there. We can go on and on. The reality is, it seems, even in a win, the head coach shows his true colors. I really appreciate you, Ryan, for coming on the show. Send my love to your dad and your girlfriend. I hope you guys feel better.
I wasn't yelling at you either, Ryan. Just
no, you're good.
I want better for everybody. All these Bears fans just drives me fucking crazy. We're gonna be better. Let's just bring back the shit that don't work, and we'll figure it out next year. That's a fucking great plan.
No, nothing taken personal. It's just a hot topic, so it was.
It is.
I was curious. I listen to you guys all the time, and I was curious on your take and. No other way to get the info than go straight to the horse's mouth. So,
there you go.
No, Phil, I want to say I'm glad your dad came out of his procedure all good and everything. So that's great to hear. And thank you guys for having me on. It was great to talk about football. Sorry for getting Shane's blood pressure up there. But
man, no, I've been a Bears fan my whole life. It stays up there high. But man, we deserve better, man. That's what I'm saying. It's enough is enough. We all deserve better. We put our blood, sweat, and tears into this team, and it's not reciprocated. So fuck that. We need to fucking each have a voice, and we want better than Mitch. We want better than Matt Nagy. We want better than Ryan Pace. We're not going to settle for anything fucking less. Set the fucking standards higher, and let's go win some fucking football games so Ryan can buy a new fucking hoodie that says NFC Champs on it.
That's right.
Ryan.
One for every year.
Ryan, do you have a shout out to anybody that you want to shout out? I'll give you the stage. Go ahead.
Yeah, shout out to both my parents watching, my dad Jerry, my mom Lori, and my girlfriend in the background here, taking over the dog duties while I'm on here on the podcast. And just everybody that's in here chatting about the Bears. Hopefully, good years are ahead of us, but unfortunately, we're starting to sound like the Cowboys, saying every year is going to be our year. So maybe we'll break that trend and we'll be better than Dallas. So,
well, God bless you, man. Say hello to everybody. Have a great day and enjoy this win. We'll be on Keeping It 100 this week. Like I said, with Adam Rank, that was Ryan Billings, one of our truthers, always promoting us.
I'm going to tackle Rank's ass too, man. I'm telling you.
Adam Rank, I know.
He's a Mitcher.
Adam Rank is a Matt Nagy guy. I think he still believes in Nagy. We're going to have to get after him to that and ask him who his coaching hire, if it would be. I was hoping we would lose and get a better draft pick. Each win is great to enjoy. Yeah, I hear you too. I said it at halftime. I'll keep it 100. I was like, I can give a shit about this game for the first time in my lifetime.
Yeah,
I swear to you. I'll put it on the record. I'm not afraid. I just wanted to see what they would do.
I was getting more excited about individual plays and not the fucking outcome of the game. Right.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. And Tyler puts it right. We're too content with mediocrity. That we fucking set the bar higher. Fucking aim higher. But we got our guy waiting in the bullpen here, Phil. He's been waiting for a while. Listening to me screaming.
Listen, I love Logan. Logan, don't take it personally. You get fired up.
Oh, Jesus.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Phil and Shane bringing on a fan to talk Bears and what just happened in the Bears game each and every week. You have to have hype.
Phil's always telling me to hype.
You can't be flat. So be ready, be prepared, and bring your passion.
I had hype coming out of my ass.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Hashtag Spencer Strong.
Those are big time fucking throws.
Yes, they're big time throws here. Bears Hour Live, the best Bears post game. Here he is. Look at this guy, James.
What's up?
James Holland. Let me put you in the middle, the hot seat.
All right,
here. I hope you're bringing some fire there.
All right, what's your Mitch take? Let's get this out of the way.
I'm like you guys. I like him. He's a great guy. I'm proud to have him. I think our problem was when you get a player like that, you have to develop. He is the play action pass guy. So when version 2.0 came out, like you guys said, the smartest guy in the room. He's got his little playbook. He's running around. He's like, oh, I'm going to put Foles in. There's going to be change. I'm going to show everybody I'm right. Fell flat on his foot. You know what I'm saying? Flat on his face.
Exactly.
And when I watched this team, I watched them over the years. And like today, we won. It was the score looked right. The plays looked right. But as a fan, there's no way you can build amnesia.
100%. Right.
Okay. So I was happy at the Bucs game. That is the highlight of this whole season for me was the Bucs game. But if we can change our mind after the Bucs game and go, okay, we've just lost 6 in a row, we suck.
Yeah.
How is the Texans game supposed to change that?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So I call it Cutleritis because Cutler came in. We gave him everything. His friends, money. We lost first-round picks, and just now because he's was on a TV show, everybody likes him. Bears fans and the media and parts of the organization has amnesia about a lot, and I think that's another reason why we got our wheels in there and they just spin. One of the things I was looking for in this particular game was I had this joke where I was like, oh, the McCaskies are selling bread. And my friends are like, what do you mean? I said, well, they're supposed to own a football team, but all you hear about is your star players talking about their bread on Twitter, how much money they want to make. And then you got players loafing.
Yeah.
You know, my dad, when I started liking football, my dad was a Steelers fan. Okay. Mm-hmm. They're known for wide receivers going down the field and blocking. Hines Ward, Juju Smith-Schuster, blockers. So as a Bears fan growing up, I mean, those teams were kind of similar in the 80s and early 90s, the hard defense, run the ball. And I thought the Bears had better colors. I was a big fan of Singletary. And so I just leaned with the Bears. And over the years, it's like it's a flip-flop organization. Yeah. When you got the Steelers, they have their identity. They draft the identity. They're always developing no-name players.
How about the coach coming out this week and saying, it's simple. Yeah. If we don't catch the ball, they're going to sit on the sideline. Have we heard that since Ditka? No. It's called accountability.
No, the motto here is if you play well, and if I have any type of an issue with you, you're going to fucking sit on the bench anyway and rot. See it in Riley Ridley.
The total backwards thinking is so moronic, and it's so frustrating for me. Like, I've never cared about how many people follow me, how many people this or whatever, hate me, whatever. What I care about is having people understand how important your voice is. Like what you just said about bread. That's a great analogy. People should use that. You stand up for the truth. You're using a great organization to foreshadow what is wrong with this organization that should be that great organization. We should be developing people in our identity. We should be hiring football great thinkers and teachers first. Instead, we're hiring outside people to help find people to help run and turn around this organization. It is almost equivalent to education and the policies of that in this country. It's like, let's do a different kind of math to figure out our students and grade them like that. It's not simple, like 10 times 2 is 20. Let's figure out a different way to get to 20. And that's the problem. You can't be a corporate fucking franchise, especially now. George has to have some fucking brass balls, and he has to fucking say, we are going to get guys in here that love football.
If this fucking game is any type of a factor on if this regime stays in place,
exactly,
it's fucking done. It's over. It's over. They're just gonna be spinning their fucking tires, and they're gonna be selling more bread, like James said.
I love the bread. I'm a big bread fan. Scalita bread in Brooklyn. It's got sesame seeds on it. My grandfather would bring like 8 loaves. Anyway, let me say this about Mitch, because I want to be very clear where we're coming from on this show. Shane has his opinion on Mitch, and I've always had mine. There's whatever. Here's my belief on Mitch, and I've said it before for Logan and whoever else. If Mitch had the proper coaching, I definitely think the Mitch you'd see would be different. But that's unfortunately not been the case.
The time has already passed.
Exactly.
Right. That's my point. I'm not saying that he was the wrong guy from Jump Street. I said that Matt Nagy was a part of it. Ryan Pace was a huge part of it.
Exactly.
This franchise was a huge part of it.
They didn't even talk to Watson.
Yeah.
So listen.
And people got to realize that no matter who we bring in, if that is our coaching, if that's our standards, we're never going to have success. We could get Joe Montana and ruin it.
We've said it all the time. Would Aaron Rodgers be Aaron Rodgers if he came?
Mahomes wouldn't be who Mahomes is.
No, they wouldn't. I'm telling you that it's a coaching issue.
All of our rookies, the rookie year, they play good. Yeah. Year 2, what the hell happens?
Regress.
Year 2,
you fired the offensive line coach, who's famously considered one of the best ever. You fired him. You bring in Juan Castillo. The same issues happen at some point. Where's the common denominator? It's with the head coach and the fucking system. So don't, fans, I'm speaking to you, especially, I know, James, you're also a patron subscriber,
Yes,
so you know.
440. Yep.
He knows his number, Shane.
That's right.
You understand. I'm going to break down everything to the T. I'm not going to leave any stone unturned. So my truth is formulated by the most confident place I could be to inform a fan. But I'm telling you right now, if Kyle Shanahan or Mike had Mitch Trubisky, people would be talking about Mitch completely different.
Yeah.
The dysfunction. Yep. Listen, we all, let's go like this. Let me give you this analogy. I know Richard Gordon's going to love this. As people, we or fathers or parents, we've all been at the park, right? With our kids. If you don't have any kids, you'll have this experience. And you see that one parent that's new to parenting and they're overwhelmed and their kid is running the show. And you're just looking over at him like, this guy doesn't get how to discipline his parent. And that is how I feel watching Matt Nagy. He can't hold players accountable because he already dipped into the pool of let's be friends. Let's run 2.0, like you said, and let everybody worry about bread. Yep. Instead, not develop, not find your fucking identity in year 4. It's ridiculous.
I'd much rather have had a Josh McDaniels. And I was thinking to myself after the Lions game, I said, okay, we're going to see who Matt Nagy really is. And before the Lions game, I said, we're going to see who he is because at this point, he's hearing the rumblings. The reporter asked him about his job. He's over here thinking, wow, I could get fired. For the first time, he's facing that. Yeah. So who are we going to see? And then he lays down in Detroit. And in this game, and I like Patterson, but it's like you guys said, I'm in Tennessee, so I get to see the Titans play. And when they need a big play, yeah, right.
I was trying to figure out, where's this guy? I was going to ask you that next.
Born and raised in Tennessee. I've been a Bears fan my whole life, so I'm seeing.
Couldn't tell from the accent, Phil.
I didn't know exactly where he's from. I was waiting. I thought Alabama was in my head, but
God, it's worse than Virginia. I don't know what's up with that, but
big Khalil Mack fans in West Virginia.
Yeah,
word on the street is.
But I love the background. James, you have this background. I feel like I'm at a fucking Twisted Sister concert. With
I love Twisted Sister. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just throwing them out there. I don't even know what was it? Smoking in the was that them? Smoking in the boys' room?
Motley Crue. That's
that was Motley
Crue.
Yeah. Fuck.
I'm doing a big.
Phil's dropping the ball.
I wasn't
He's pulling
a big.
Matt Nagy.
I gotta keep it on.
He's got to review the tape, James.
Today was the first time Matt Nagy didn't have to review it.
Yeah,
just coincidentally.
Well, he didn't know which shoulder Johnson got hurt on, though.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
It was all over the place, and I'm sure when he refers to Andre, I'm sure Andre didn't come up and say, "Coach, he's got something going on with that shoulder that he had surgery on in March." I'm sure he didn't know that. It's the Bears are just smarter than we are. Hey, do you guys want something to be happy about? Look at this. Just saw this on Twitter. One of our friends of the show sent this. Look at this. Take that comment off there so you can read it. Bears running back David Montgomery on center Sam Mustipher, who earned the job midway through the year because of injuries. You'd think he's been in the league for 10, 11, 12 years the way he comes at you and takes charge. He's the general on the line, and they buy in. What a huge fucking coup that is for the Chicago Bears that you have an undrafted free agent on the offensive line that's coming in.
That's huge.
And your running back is saying that. He didn't say it was Charles Leno.
Oh, God.
He didn't say that it was, he didn't say that it was Cody Whitehair even. It's Sam Mustipher. The Bears found something in this guy. And hey, listen, we have to take the wins when we can get them in terms of this roster, the way that it's made up.
Yeah.
And Sam Mustipher is one of these guys, man. I'm excited about this kid.
Let me say this real quick. Sorry about Mustipher, but it incorporates Montgomery. Okay, does anybody out of the three of us question that David Montgomery is the truth?
I do.
But nobody here does, right? So, did you all happen to watch David Montgomery's mic'd up against the Lions?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get to see that one.
All right, so you need to watch it because David Montgomery plays the game a certain way, but I've never heard him mic'd up, so obviously you don't get to hear. So when they do, that's one thing I love about NFL films is having the mic on the player. But this guy acts exactly how he runs, Shane, with a fiery, passionate, team-first energy. So what does that mean? When I read that quote, I hear David Montgomery in my head from when he was mic'd up, and that tells me he is the identifier of who the leader is. And he is the type of player that you build around and you help your quarterback with. And now Mustipher, to Shane's point, as an undrafted free agent coming in here, Olin Kreutz said it on this very show. I love this kid. He has the disposition.
He said the same thing about Bars. Bars, I'm not there yet. Yeah. I think he's probably.
I thought he played better today.
He did. He had a couple
last week.
He had a couple mishaps. I mean, if he's a guy that right now, listen, Bars isn't to the point where he's factoring into anything that I do on this team in the offseason. I'm never going to head into the offseason and say
agree.
We got Alex Bars, so we're good there. And I mean, that's the way that you have to build this entire team. You can't look really. I'm going to include Sam Moss. If you have a fucking offensive lineman that's fantastic, you have to fucking go get him. There's nobody on this roster, offensively especially, that can't be replaced. Let's be completely honest. But no, it's Bars he's good. I think he's got some potential. He's got a lot of work to do, I think. But Mustipher, to me, I think they've uncovered something there.
You found a talented center. And listen, I've said this many times. I'll say it again for the record on this show. Left tackle is so important on the football field. It's the most important on the line. Center is the hardest position to play on the line. And when you're running inside zone in that scheme, it starts to be a 1A, 1B thing with your center. And if you uncovered an undrafted free agent who, oh, by the way, was coached up by Harry Heastand, you're cooking with fire. And today, I'm telling you right now, on my first view, Mustipher played with the kind of energy that David Montgomery's talking about. You got to be happy about that. Now you're going to play the Vikings, and you like the continuity with this line. Hopefully, Matt Nagy figures it out. We've been saying this for fucking so long, though.
It's going to be year 4, Phil. He's going to figure it all out.
He just can't. He's got to go.
Nagy,
I'm sorry, Hub. We got to get Hub on the show.
Matt Nagy's that guy that lucked up.
Exactly.
You know, he lucked up. So he went into it.
It's like
he's
Claudio
everybody's
when he
friend.
met us.
And, who knows? Later on in Matt Nagy's career, if he gets another chance, he might be a good coach. But right now in Chicago,
he wasn't ready.
Wasn't ready.
No.
Right.
Wasn't ready.
He's probably I've said it. He's probably a great dude, great man. But that position, you have to be a CEO. I loved Kaplan's story about Wanstega and the call from Jimmy Johnson. You heard my father talking about, to get rid of the play, be involved in the game. That's your job as the head coach. This guy will never figure it out. He's not going to be here. And maybe down the road, you mentioned McDaniels. He was the head coach of the Broncos. He got fired. This happens. Yep. You make a mistake. You got to cut the head off the snake. You can't do the Hubarkesh comment if they win 2 more. They're fucking they'll be 8-8. 8-8 again. You're in the fucking neutral. You might not even played the season. It's ridiculous.
It's been that way for years.
Yeah. Exactly.
Even when we had Julius Peppers, I saw him not showing up in the big games. And then when we played the Lions, he'd get 3 sacks. Well, if you do 3 sacks against weak teams 2 or 3 times a year, you got 9 sacks.
Yeah.
But when we're playing Green Bay And I tell people the bar is Green Bay. If we are not better than Green Bay, we have no hope in hell to even try.
You gotta go beat them. They beat you 41-25. They embarrassed you. Fucking Aaron Rodgers was fucking doing discount double checks in an empty
he
stadium.
comes out and he's like, I love playing Chicago.
No
wonder why.
Yeah.
You know?
I love playing Chicago. Yeah, anybody would. But listen, you are a tremendous person and a tremendous guest. I want to give you your final thoughts as we're going to wrap up the show in a few minutes. I want you got any final thoughts, any questions, or a shout out?
I have a question of what you guys would do. For me, I don't see us doing anything until 2022. We need to we need to draft a QB. We need to develop him. We need to cut the fat off this team. Get the cat down. Get our draft picks. Next year, in my view, bring in that new GM, bring in the new coach with the mindset of, hey, guys, I don't care how much a player costs. Get them out. Get them gone. That's how I feel. What do you guys think about that?
It's not built the correct way, and it's not. You know what I mean? You can't build a house and then get to the second floor and be like, man, that foundation's fucking creaky. But let's take it up another floor. It'll probably hold. It'll probably hold.
I hope it holds.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way, and that's the thing. You know, people. I think it was Ryan that was on right before you, James, was talking about going into the draft and saying, you know, you got to use your first round draft pick on a quarterback. That's not set in stone. I'm not drafting a quarterback just to draft a quarterback and going to bring him in to a depleted roster. If I love the quarterback and I am 100% believing that he is the guy, of course you have to pull the trigger. But let's be honest.
If it's Burrows, you know.
Yeah, anything. You have to believe in the guy. You cannot reach at that position. Can't.
Right.
You see what happens. We've lived it. We've seen what happens.
The attic is strong.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah,
well said.
Yeah, the attic is so strong. The fucking foundation sucks. But that's like saying we got a great punter. Cairo Santos is kicking well.
Working on the foundation, so it'll be fun.
I want to say
he's a good
this.
guy.
You get a football guy in here, you always have a chance to win, and they know how to build it because it starts up front.
Yeah.
Anybody worth their grain of salt knows. I'm telling you, Olin was being professional on here. What Charles Leno is. He is an obstacle to winning. He is a below average player that's starting because the GM fucked up and gave him a new deal without recognizing the person and the work ethic. That's all a part of scouting. So that's an indictment on him. And as Will said here, I totally agree with this. But it's almost at the point of chicken or the egg. It's hard to develop in dysfunction. So it's not all on Mitch. Unfortunately,
not at all. You're right.
The college that Mitch went to, the Chicago Bears, failed him.
Right.
And now the next guy has to decide and make these football decisions. Can this head coach, this offensive coordinator, and our offensive philosophy built with this guy? That's not Phil Etoshin's job until they hire me. If they do, I will answer that question on Wednesday with Adam Rank on Keeping It 100. But right now, it's not all on Mitch. They neglected him and abused him. How many of you guys look in the mirror, were raised a certain way? Your mom beat the fuck out of you. Your father beat the fuck. Your dad left you. You were in an orphanage. You were home. I'm serious. There's stories. Right. Everybody has a fucking story, right?
Yep.
You have to choose who you're going to be. Are you going to be going down the street selling the drugs and taking that way out and be a punk ass? Do you have to do that in order to survive? You got to make these tough choices? Or are you going to be defined by going this route? It's always the person inside that defines that. And that's where Mitch has his critics. For me, as a football guy, I'm telling you, this whole fucking organization let him down. But unfortunately, the next guy has to decide. Because if you keep Nagy in pace, Mitch is gone. He's gone. But the next guy could say, listen, I see this, and I see that, and I'm going to be involved in giving whatever offer. That's That's my truth.
Well, you're gonna have to.
That's my truth.
You're gonna have to if you're bringing Mitch. Just say for whatever reason you're bringing Mitch back. You have to also be willing to resign him, and you're gonna have to pay him $20+ million a year.
Well, I'm gonna tell him what he's gonna pay based on what I believe. If I listen, I'm serious.
Right.
The next coach is gonna have to say if he's looking for $20+ million without a foundation of what you don't pay that. No way, no fucking way did you earn that. I'm serious. But in keeping it 100 in my thoughts, I know this offense could have been built around Jordan Howard, and things could have been completely different. What you saw in 2018, and emphasis.
He was the reason why we did good that year. Was Jordan Howard?
Jordan Howard 2 years in a row was the second leading rusher.
And when he got off, he was throwing up in the garbage can because he was running so hard. You remember that?
Yeah.
I was like, I love that guy.
Loved Jordan Howard.
Yes.
And I love David Montgomery. Shane could tell
Yes,
you.
yes.
I love David
Montgomery's
Montgomery.
awesome.
Montgomery is the best thing you have, and I've said it for weeks on the tape, the best player on offense. And then Allen Robinson and Mooney. And Kmet stepping up, man. Kmet.
Not to get off this, but guys, Mitch isn't going to sign. Mitch isn't going to take a fucking. He's not going to sign for $10 million. Phil, it's not even logical. It's not logical.
Here's the reason why. I don't want to ruin our show on Wednesday. Here's the reason why, but I'll say this. I love the fans. Shit, this is the only year I got to shut up about the cap because there's no fans in the stands, Gregory and Glenn. So now owners are going to say, well, we got to do this. So the cap is finally going to stay stagnant or be lower. But we don't even know yet. Everyone's guessing what it's going to be, including the owners. So until we get that, these guesstimations by PFF and Blog Boy Cav, all of these people don't know. So I'm not going to say I know, but I do know this. I can't put a measurement on it until we see what you have room for. I do know you can cut Bobby Massey and Charles Leno and eat those losses and get better there because we've said it for 20
you have to
years.
Extend Fuller.
Fuller's got to get extended. Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to make these moves as a GM. I believe they're going to clean house. That's where I feel right now. Today what is those wins? It's like a fabrication of truth win today. Anyway, you got anybody just shout out?
The other thing I want to say real quick is it's easy for the coaches to say, hey, my friend that's on the staff is really good. Hire him. Because there's a coaching tree.
God.
So Adam Gase, everybody throws up the Peyton Manning thing. But if Peyton Manning was on a team doing a coach or GM, he would not just put anybody in positions. It's easy to go, hey, this is my friend. It's easy for Andy Reid to go, Matt Nagy's my friend. We got to quit listening to people. We got to start doing our own fucking homework, and get the right damn coaches and shit for this,
Listen, you can hire me and Shane.
I'd love that.
Real quick, the
Kaplan.
The quote that's up there, you can't cut Robert Quinn.
You can't. You just paid this guy.
You can't. He's got this isn't Madden where he can shut the fucking cap off. You can't. He's got his contract gets even bigger next year, and the Bears don't. The Bears have $19 million in cap space with guys making more money Robert Quinn is going to be here. Nick Foles is going to be here. Right, wrong, or indifferent, guys. They're here. That's the way that it works.
We are going to cover this
exactly
like nobody else. If you're not a patron like James, this is your chance to step up and sell the Tape Never Lies Network. You are a patron, right? You're subscribed. www.thetapeneverlies.com. I'm telling you right now, we aren't going to be live on Facebook for everybody this offseason. We're going to be doing pop-up shows.
And you get the full breakdown. You get the full team breakdown as well. So, and these guys, I'm seeing emails almost every day. So it's active. It's cool. The only thing I would also suggest is the other day you guys put a YouTube link and I was able to use my mobile app. I like that idea because in the mobile app I can change the speed settings and things like that.
There
But guys, it keeps you in content. $7.
$7 a month.
Come on.
We got to do the business side. we are going to be breaking down what the cap is, who the free agents is, who would Phil and Shane hire. We're going to bring on coaches, NFL agents, hopefully get some scouts on here that I'm working on, and a lot of surprises to this team. That's a very good point. You're going to have Goldman coming back too next year. So
yeah, true.
We don't know.
And we
now.
We better bring back his former teammate who fucking balled out today too.
We've been talking about that for all season. Shane actually pointed that out way back, getting Mario Edwards an extension now before he gets hot.
Yep.
Ryan Pace hasn't said it. Thank you, Bears and Cigars. James, you want to shout out anybody after you've done a great job helping us out?
Thank you.
Selling
Yes,
us.
my father. Like
Beautiful.
I said,
What's his name?
James Holland. I'm a junior.
Junior. I know what it's like. James. We're all...
So yeah, my dad's a big football collector. Right now, I'm looking at a Andre Rison Atlanta Falcons signed helmet from way back in the day.
Bad Moon Rising.
I
with
seen
Deion
some
Sanders
bad
on it.
moon rising.
Yeah. So my dad is what kind of started it off in football, and you guys are kind of helping me with the knowledge of football. So you are helping me with the knowledge of football, and I love the show. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, you brought it today. Now you brought passion and energy and fire your way. We had some fucking great guests today. Adrian, thank you. We had Dre from the south side of Chicago. Ryan Billings. Do you know where he's from, Shane? I forgot to ask him. Fuck. And you are James Holland from Tennessee. Look at
Tennessee.
that. Bringing the fire and passion.
If we weren't in the COVID pandemic, were you going to the Titans-Bears game?
Yes.
Yeah, we were gonna be there.
If COVID is lifted next year, when the schedule comes out, we are gonna have a Tape Never Lies Network barbecue bash party wherever the schedule is gonna take us.
And you know what that means?
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
He's been weed free for a few weeks now with the COVID.
That's probably why I caught it.
He's got to do edibles.
Yeah,
he probably is. He's working a way around it, like anybody working against Leno. They find a way.
Big plays are nice. They're good. We need more of those.
Yeah, we need more of those big plays.
Oh my God,
James, thank you so much for coming on and enjoying. I really enjoyed your company and your presence here. Every guest tonight was awesome, and you're a great man. Thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks, James.
Listen, if you're not subscribing, just go over there. I'm serious. We appreciate the support. It's pennies on a dollar, as you said, Michael. You guys are great. You're also going to get a private invitation to a Facebook private group when we go live. You're also, like he said, a YouTube channel that's private.
Want to speak on it, Phil? I don't know who you are, Facebook user. Here, let me put something up on the screen real quick before we sign off here.
Yes. This is for every show we do.
Yeah. You have to head over to StreamYard.com/Facebook, and you have to let StreamYard see your Facebook Live comments, because if you do not accept that, you're going to show up as Facebook user, and you want your Patreon number, and I have no idea who you are. So head on over there. Once you accept that, we'll see your name, and I'll get you your Patreon number.
What a show. What a great group of guys. You
guests
guys
were
in the
awesome.
chat. Yeah, the guests were awesome. The guys in the chat were awesome. It was a big win, but yet Phil and Shane are fired up, and people are wondering why. But if you can't understand why, then you probably shouldn't subscribe to the Patreon channel, because the essence of football truth lies in the tape. You could try to mimic that, Shane, but I think there's a channel that we really do have. Coach Dre, I'm sure Shane has worked so hard on getting everybody their numbers. Shane, I really appreciate you doing that for the fans, because sometimes it moves up and down with the number, so Shane has to look exactly when you got your number to give it to you. And in our swag shop is open. Is Sandlin in the chat?
He was.
We don't have his commercial up because Claudio's cut it out series, but the swag shop is open. Let me get that banner up, and they're offering you to get your own, what is it? your own.
Sandman's there.
There he is. Yep, Sandman. You could type it out. We'll put your comment in there. You can get your patron number, and they can make an authentic shirt, a Tape Never Lies shirt. Put your name on the back with your patron number. And when we do have the tailgate show, when we go out there and have that barbecue and have a tailgate with everybody that are patrons and fans of our network, you can rock your gear, and we'll know exactly who you are, and you represent us.
Yeah, Klaus Delgate. If you want your number, reach out to me. I don't know if I don't know what your exact name is, obviously, but hit me up on Twitter or hit me up on Facebook and give me your name that you registered with Patreon with, and I'll get your number for you.
Look at Logan, 263, Shane, and you're being mean to now.
Yeah.
I told Shane, I don't give a fuck about somebody's $7. If you're going to troll and be not that you were, Logan. I'm saying this.
No, listen,
Logan's
if you don't want us getting fired up, then you don't. That's what we do here. We're going to keep shit real. We're going to keep it on the up and up, and you guys want to see our passion. You're going to see it
on here.
Yeah, you're going to see it unfold, live, and that's what it's all about.
I got to get Burton on here. Number 2. We had number 1 on. Jeff Burton believed in us, number 2.
Yeah.
307, you got to get the swag, and we got to know your name. We'll figure that out this week. You guys were tremendous today. Shane, you got your final thoughts? I know I have mine, and then we'll bounce out.
Yeah, no, I'll keep it short. Like I said, it's always good when the Bears win. I understand it, but I'm looking at the bigger picture here. I don't want what happened today, to influence anything. I'm sick of mediocrity with this franchise. I'm sick of it at the head coach position. I'm sick of it at the GM position, at the president position, ownership position, the quarterback position, the offensive line. I want wholesale changes from top to bottom. And if I have to struggle for a couple of more years in terms of wins and losses to build the right way, then I'm going to deal with that. I've dealt with this. I'm 44 years old. The Bears have done a whole lot of fucking losing in my life. So I can deal with a couple more years to build that fucking foundation right, so I don't have to worry about the attic fucking caving in on me that we're talking about now. But we have to build this the right way, guys. And we're going to keep you guys up to date this entire offseason. If you think we do a lot now and we get fired up, you wait till you see how Phil and I are when it comes to free agency, and especially when it comes to the draft. It goes to a whole different level, and we're going to be doing a ton of stuff for our patrons. We're still going to have a free show for the non-patrons, but the patrons are going to be benefiting big time for what we do, especially with the off-season stuff, because we have a Senior Bowl coming up, the NFL, the combine, free agency, and then most importantly, the draft. And nobody's going to give you better coverage than we do here at TTNL. So please head over to tapeneverlies.com. Check it out. Like I said, it's $7. If you find out that it's not for you, then you can bounce. You're out $7, but at least go check it out. We want to push this. We want to get up to over 500. We're slowly getting there, but like I said, please check it out and give us 30 days. If you have negative feedback, some more that you want to see, we're open to all forms of criticism. If it's a good idea, Phil and I are going to consider everything. We're going to have
you
shows.
guys matter to us. That's the truth.
Absolutely.
Just like James was on here. I literally like that. Well, make a note of that. And with YouTube, it becomes some of our most frustrating dilemmas, keeping it 100.
Yes, Jeff, tons
are going to be
shows.
doing a live draft show every round on Patreon. We're going to be live breaking down.
But we're going to do a quarterback show just for quarterbacks. We're going to
offensive tackle show.
Yeah, you guys believe me. If you don't like the draft, we're going to make you love it, and you're going to know everybody that's involved when you're going to be screaming right with us. Like, how did the Bears pass this guy up? I can't believe Shane and Phil told us about these guys.
Change our fucking rankings either.
No.
You guys will hold us accountable like you should, and I'm not afraid to put my name to it and speak on the truth.
Jamie, I'm not sure if Danny's going to have a show. Go ask him, but he's not on our network.
Yeah, we're not affiliated with that network anymore at all. Not one iota bit.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
Yeah,
Let
go
me
ahead.
say my final words here. In a day, in a game, you only get 16 of these. They're very precious. So I hope I come off in the right way. And I got to sit down with my son and watch this game, and he really loves Darnell Mooney and loves David Montgomery and really loves Mitch Trubisky. So he was able to enjoy himself. But me, the father, the analytical guy for this network, I went looking at this game in several parts, as we discussed in this show. And at the end of the day, until change comes, we're always going to fall on this worry and doubt that this organization run by a family that takes conservative approach to football when it comes to this franchise is going to do the same thing. So inside my heart of hearts, I tell you, in all honesty, I worry. I worry about what Hub is saying. But in my rational mind of football thinking, I have to believe that you fans are going to go and listen and heed the words that we're saying here and hold people like Brad Biggs and the guy and JJ. I texted JJ, said, I will make sure that's my number one question. He texted me after he asked this question. So he'll ask that Monday morning to Nagy. You guys have to voice this, because I'm telling you, the snake is, the head has to be cut off. Nagy has to go. If anybody has to go, the head coach has to go. I could deal.
Yeah, we talked about that, Phil.
Yeah.
If you got to choose one or the other, you and I are in concert
Exactly,
there.
because I believe, whatever, good, bad, or indifferent, there's enough talent on this football team for another coach to come in here and have a clear conscience and direction. So if I was weighing all the schedules and all of the personnel and all of the decisions on football side, that troublesome scale completely outweighs the players that were drafted or signed and what have you. So as I asked you, not only to subscribe and all that, I ask you, even if you don't, be a fan, that's fine. Voice your truth to this organization, to these media members, and let your knowledge, your passion for this football team reign supreme. Don't be fooled like J-Lo by the rocks that they got. Go out there and be hot and know that this win is a fabricational win. It's not the reality of win. Now, Minnesota, we will be covering this game just like that. Let's see what you do against Minnesota up at their place, right, Shane? We're playing there, right? We already played at home, right?
Minnesota, yeah.
So we're playing at Minnesota.
Yeah, in Jacksonville.
And we're going to go on the road twice. Let's see what we do in these games, because this was a depleted Houston team. The storyline was Mitch versus Watson, and Mitch played good today. He really did. I'll break it down this week. I'll get to the tape. You'll see that on Wednesday. And Wednesday night, Adam Rank will be joining us on Keeping It 100. You guys in the chat were phenomenal. I loved when you bring the passion. The guys that came on the show, you want to come on the show, you got to reach out to Shane and myself. DM me. We'll get everything set up. You guys will come on the show just like they did. Speak with us. Get it popping.
We have people for next week's show booked.
Oh, we already got them booked. Look at you.
Yeah, and in 2 weeks we're booked. We might be able to maybe get one
we
more.
We are doing a Christmas show for right? Yeah. With patrons only.
Patrons
You're gonna
only.
Come on.
Yep, you got to have a drink. We're gonna
have a
chop
drink.
it up a little bit. Cherie's gonna sing Christmas carols. She said
we're gonna
live on air, so she's gonna be all excited about that. We just haven't told her yet, but yeah.
Well, we went over the 2-hour mark. I was gonna keep it under 2, but you guys brought it today. Couldn't ask for a better way to end this weekend. Although it went by quick. We'll see you Wednesday night on Keeping It 100, sponsored by Shy City Sports. Adam Rank will be the headline guest, and Shane Cars, Claudio's going to be back from COVID, so Cut It Out will be returning. And I appreciate you guys. Have a blessed weekend. Enjoy your week. We'll see you then.
Thank you for watching Bears Hour Live, the best post-Bears game show on the planet, on the Tape Never Lies Network.